hear me. Okay, is it working now? Let me know, please. And again, I apologize. I will then start again to talk about all the stuff that I said before. And thanks a lot for letting me know. I hope you can hear me. I have noticed that OBS has had an update. And I have not noticed, now I can see it in the lower portion below, that the bar, when I'm speaking, the bar is now moving. And now you can hear me. Okay, so hi, Olivia. Hello. Thank you very much for letting me know. That's unfortunately something that can happen, especially after a longer time when I didn't have any, let's say, any live stream, and I didn't really talk for a long time to anyone. And then in the meantime, you have updates. And some of the programs don't really communicate very well with each other, especially Windows 11 with some other programs. So yeah, but thanks a lot for letting me know. Really, thank you very much. So I will then start again and speak from the start what I wanted to say, because you can then scratch the first few minutes. And I will probably cut them out then from the final stream, but thanks a lot. And I'm happy that you are here. And I will start again with the Totally Get It with OBS. Hope you are having a good week. Yes, I am. And yeah, see, let me start again. So welcome to the stream. And we have currently Easter, so it's the Easter weekend here. I am hoping that you have one as well. I know that some countries have the Easter weekend now. Some had it actually already 1 week before, and some have it 1 week later. So I'm not sure in which country you are, or if you are having it now. But in case, yes, enjoy. I have wished a lot of fun and family joy during the Easter weekend to everyone. So that's the first thing. And the second, which is when I started to talk, which you couldn't hear, was that I'm probably not dropping as many bits as often as I would like to during the past few weeks. And that's because spring has started. The garden requires a little bit more work. I'm hoping that once the craziness is over, that I will have some more time for that. And it's Easter weekend here. Okay, so you have as well one. Okay, so I hope you're enjoying it. And garden requires a little bit more work again, so it's kind of a little bit crazy, especially in spring. Usually it's a lot, so I do have a lot of work there. And then also I have had family members with injuries, unfortunately. Simply put, my mom has fallen down. She's already an old lady and unfortunately relatively brittle bones. And she has fallen down and has broken a bone in her foot. So not like the big major ones, but in the foot there are a couple of bones. One of them has broken, so she can barely walk. And she's not really feeling so great and has some pain. So I have to, let's say, step in and help even more out than I already do. So it's kind of a little bit busy here, unfortunately. And that's why I also didn't make any stream during February. It was kind of really not so great. I was sick. I was also March technically. So I was sick, and my family members didn't do so well. And then there's a lot of work. So unfortunately, I do apologize. I really would have loved to make the stream a little bit earlier, but it didn't work out. But yeah, I'm hoping to go back, let's say, to some normalcy relatively soon. And yeah, so much for the family stuff. I hope you don't mind, but yeah, it's just a little explanation. And there has been a lot going on. That's why I have also prepared a couple of topics for today. And one of those topics was Horizon, which I started to talk about. So it's not just the two main topics that I have on the thumbnail that I would love to talk about. It's also the Horizon one, because I'm currently playing the Horizon Forbidden West game, and I'm trying to finish it so that I can make a review for that, and then I can finally start playing Crimson Desert. So that's the next one on the list. And I did have some observations, and that's something that I would like to talk about, but I would like to then walk you through all the topics that I have prepared. So just let me give you the rundown a little bit. And I have prepared to talk a little bit about the Horizon Hunters Gathering and the Forbidden West impressions, and it has to be. Then Sony PS6 was delayed. I'm not sure you have noticed, but I have some info there. And EA is closing studios left and right. And I would like to mention something here. Crimson Desert has so far already sold 4 million copies. So, wow, I would like to show you a little bit from the game. I haven't had a chance yet to play it myself, like I said, but I am following all of the, let's say, social media channels, and then I'm watching it, and it's a lot of fun. So I've prepared some fun stuff. And then we have some Expanse, Osiris Reborn, and Exodus news. I'm sure you have already seen a couple of the vids in the lately from both of the studios. So there is a lot to talk about. And then I have prepared 2 topics, which I called like craziness again. So Nexus Mods is going nuts again. And also YouTube is going nuts again. So I do want to talk about this thing. And then there is Pompeii the Legacy, which will have a full release. So I'm going to talk about that. It's not an RPG. I'm not... let's say just talking about RPGs on the channel. As you might know, there are also other games that I'm playing, be it some city builders or some point-and-click games. So I do want to talk about a little bit about this one as well. I did play the demo last year, and the full release will be now. So I just want to mention it. There was one topic which I was thinking about also to include in the stream, but then I decided to probably, like, it would be better to do a separate bit on that, and that's the Netflix, Paramount, Warner Brothers update or situation. Maybe you have noticed what's going on there. If not, then I will probably make a separate video on that, because it's something that it's better if I do it with a script rather than during a live stream. So that would be the topics for today. I hope there is something for you there as well. And let me start then with the Horizon series or the Horizon games. So, and it is something where I have... I'm kind of the same in love in the same way with the franchises as I used to be at the beginning with Mass Effect and Dragon Age. It's not something that would be for me, let's say, something where I would be a super fan. I cannot say I know every little thing and every little detail. For sure not. But at least from my perspective, those are franchises that have a good story, and the universe in which they're playing in is very well done. And let me just close this one. And I fell in love with Mass Effect, I fell in love with Dragon Age, and I fell in love with the Horizon series because of the story, mainly. Of course, the characters as well, but mainly the story. And because of how detailed it was, how well it was done, etc. And over time, some of the, let's say, franchises have evolved in a better way, and some have evolved in a worser way. Let me put it that way. And I'm pretty sure Dragon Age the Veilguard is a good example for everybody on where the franchise can end if it's not really going in the best direction. And I was hoping for Horizon not necessarily to go into the same style or direction as well. I do have to say, probably it sounds naive for you, but I do have to say I was avoiding all the spoilers and everything like crazy because I really wanted to play Horizon Forbidden West for myself. So I did play Horizon Zero Dawn. As you know, I am a PC player. I'm not a player with consoles. So I had to wait for the PC release. And that was later than for the console players. So it was really hard sometimes to avoid the spoilers, to be honest, because when the games came out, it was like the net was full with it, especially if you are looking into information about the games. And I was trying to avoid everything. I wanted to play it myself, so I started to play Horizon Forbidden West in 2025, late 2025, as you remember. And I stopped the playthrough on the channel because I had really not the best experiences with me posting gameplay videos on the channel. It was really like bad for the algorithm and for the statistics and everything. So I stopped the playthrough on the channel, but that doesn't mean I didn't like continue with the playthrough on my own separately. And currently I have finished already Horizon Forbidden West, and I'm playing through the DLC. And as I said, I was hoping in the beginning that let's say the franchise will not evolve into the same DI-infested woke fest as, for example, Dragon Age did. And unfortunately, I'm noticing it did. Not in that same extent, and of course there are many positive things on the game, so when I'm doing the review I will try to focus on the not just the positive side, but mostly on the positive side, and I will try to be, let's say, more objective. But why I'm talking here on the stream about it is because there are some subjective observations which I would like to mention. And I know that there are people who are saying that guerrilla has always been, let's say, woke, etc. I would disagree. Not necessarily. And for Horizon Zero Dawn, the game, when you played it for the first time, sure, it did have some, let's say, diversity in it, but it was well explained, it was well woven into the story, the characters were really well written, and in general, the main character also was like very likable. She was kind of awkward sometimes in social situations, let me put it that way, but that's not a surprise with her background. So everything was well explained. The story of the depth was what impressed me the most, and of course the visuals and the whole idea of the game. And that's why I fell in love with the franchise. And now when I started to play Horizon Forbidden West, I have already noticed from the beginning that there are some changes. I did also notice it on the start of the playthrough in the videos that I have posted. Now some things are now better, so when I finished the game I have seen, okay, it was just the first impression and then it got better during the game. What didn't really get better was, let's say, this DI checkbox system, as I have noticed. So it is very clear that the game was created during the height of the DI checkbox systems, as I say, so you have to have this and this and this in the game and just check. So they didn't avoid that, unfortunately. And I also think it's because Sony had a bigger influence now on guerrilla than they did in the beginning when they released Horizon Zero Dawn. So Forbidden West is kind of more influenced also through the, let's say, political lens of Sony. I will put it that way. And I will put it now as a joke, but I have to say, for me, what was really let's say funny was that during Horizon Forbidden West you realize that there is an even bigger threat threatening Earth that is now coming. It will be part of the third game, and that will be Nemesis, that will be probably the main antagonist, of course. And yeah, if you haven't played the games or you don't know, so this is basically something that's more than AI. It's like a combination of consciousnesses of multiple people, as far as I understood, and then it evolved over a long time. So it's something very, very dangerous, of course, and it, for whatever reason, it wants to destroy Earth. Okay. Aside from that, like story point, when you go through the game and if you go through the main storyline only, it's not so, let's say, permeated with this DI checkbox system. the moment you start to do side quests, you notice every second couple is like gay or LGBTQ plus something. And then there are, of course, also trans characters. And there's even a disabled character. Yes, it's Kotalo. And I have to say, okay, it's one of the main characters currently, actually. But I have to say he's well written. So I cannot like really criticize the character for being a disabled character. It's not just his whole personality is not just that. So it's not that, you know, stupidity that we are seeing in so many other medias and games, that the whole point of the character is just to represent something. No, he's very well written, actually, and this is just one little part of his character, I would say, okay? But it's still, it was like really going through the checkbox. Ah, yeah, there's also a disabled character, and then there's this character and this character, okay? And I was in the end already laughing, like, okay, the only thing that I'm missing in the game is a character with vitiligo or vitiligo, I don't know how you pronounce it. Yeah, then I went into the DLC where I'm currently, and boom, there it was. So it's like all of the checkboxes are completely fulfilled. And sometimes it's really in your face. So the change for me between Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West in this part, is some characters are all only about this. It's their whole like characteristic, like personality. Like there's a guy who's looking for some of his warriors in a side quest, and he already starts with, yeah, I'm a man wearing women's clothes. Like, oh, come on. So there's so many things that it was just so in your face, and that was really uncharacteristic for me in the Horizon game, and it was very, very, very noticeable, unfortunately. And in terms of the changes on Alloy, I did say in the beginning, and I do have to say it did change for the better. It was that previously in Horizon Zero Dawn, like I said, she was this kind of socially awkward character with like no filter. And yeah, of course, then she sometimes came across as rude, but it wasn't really rudeness, okay? And now Horizon Forbidden West started, and right at the beginning, she's talking to a couple of people in a very arrogant way, which was for me totally out of character for her, and it was really a nasty surprise, to be honest. And I do have to say, when I was playing throughout the game, thankfully, it changed. So she didn't, let's say, remain this rude, arrogant character from the start, but when you went through the main story and you talked to a couple of people on behalf of Aloy or as Aloy, then you noticed, okay, it's getting better. So that one is something, thankfully, that improved throughout the game. What did not improve, and what I wasn't really so fond of, was from the like physical representation of Aloy. Puffy cheeks aside, I know that many people were talking about like she's having puffy cheeks, whatever. I don't really, or darker eyebrows. Yes, I have noticed that, not so great when I compare it to Horizon Zero Dawn, but nothing so seriously problematic. And I still think they kept, in general, mainly her face as it was, aside from some tweaks. What threw me off, though, was this red nose. So she had like very red nose and cheeks on the sides. And I understand that some people have a red face when they have some, physical exercise or something. I'm the same way, so I do have a red face. But to have it on a character non-stop throughout the game, even when you're just walking or sitting down and you have this red face all the time, to be honest, in the end, it was so distracting to me. I had to replay some of the dialogues because in close-ups, the only thing that I was staring at was this red nose and red cheeks, and it looked so unnatural to me and so out of place on her face. She didn't have a face like that in Horizon Zero Dawn, and it was just too much. And to be honest, to me, when I was looking at her throughout the whole game, I had a feeling she's like an alcoholic that was drinking for 20 years already. Like they have such red nose and red cheeks nonstop without any physical exercise. So it was just awful to look at, to be honest. I'm really hoping that they are not going to continue in this kind of changes, because to me it was completely unnatural. It would be something completely different if it would be like after a fight or something, but just sitting down and talking to somebody with a non-stop red nose and red cheeks, like completely drunk all the time. No, I just, I had a problem with that, to be honest. So it was really very distracting, and I had to repeat like some dialogues because I couldn't really focus on that. I was just staring at her face like, what? So that much from the observations. I do hope that there will be some improvement in certain things going forward to the third game, to be honest. And I'm really hoping that they will again tone it down a little bit, because it was a little bit too much, whether it was like I said, her face, or this LGBTQ plus overrepresentation. I mean, yeah. Just you don't need Nemesis, just let the people in that post-apocalyptic Earth die out, because there's no straight couples left. Okay, so yeah, that was one of the things that I wanted to say. And I'm seeing Olivia is writing, I like that there's some characters in games that are well written and are more than specific characteristics. And that's something that I have to like highlight here again. Like I said, for the most part, the characters were well written. The story is still good. It's not necessarily so great anymore for me as it was in the first game, but the characters are still well written. But in some of the side quests and in some of the side characters, you can see it's really not so great as it was in Horizon Zero Dawn. So I really hope that they will tone it down a little bit, because partially it wasn't so fun anymore to do the side quests. It was like, oh, not again, not yet another alphabet person. Let me put it that way. So yeah. And John is here. Hi, John. Hey, late again. No worries. I started the stream and I did notice that the sound is not really going, and it's not going across to you. And my microphone wasn't really well connected. And then thankfully Olivia popped in and told me that she cannot hear anything. So I had to start again. So you didn't miss that much. So yeah, no worries. And Gaming Birch is here. Hey, it's nice. Thank you. It's nice to see you here. Me too, trying to slowly catch up what I missed. Alphabet person. Yeah, like I said, I was talking about the Horizon Forbidden West, and maybe let me also show you the. I know it's not the two main topics, but I wanted to start with it because I'm currently, let's say, finalizing the game, and I'm trying to write down already some notes for the review. And I just wanted to mention this. Like I said, I will try to be in the review, let's say, more objective and not highlight some stuff that might be very subjective or personal. But yeah, I wanted to mention it here on the stream. It was just something that was very visible for me, certain things in the game which I wasn't so fond of, to be honest. So yeah, there were improvements in the second game compared to the first, and yeah, there were things which I'm not so fond of. Let me put it that way. Let me also show you maybe a little bit on the screen. I do have a couple of topics that I have prepared, and let me just switch. Okay, I hope that you can see that. And there's a lot of notes, and I have prepared this. And let me also maybe check if you can see my screen or me on the screen. Yeah, you can. So there is, of course, the Horizon Hunters Gathering, which came out in the meantime. I did make a video about it, and I did mention it. And it is the reason why we will see the third game delayed, which wasn't making me that happy, to be honest. And I just wanted to point out here that, of course, because the game isn't really out yet and there is like no official review yet, there are just Steam curators who have looked into the game and they have like made a couple of observations. And I had to laugh because if you look at Horizon Hunters Gathering, so it's like full of not recommended, and force the diverse cast, including a fat woman. Okay, bonus track, it's a shameless clone of Monster Hunter. Not recommended. Oh no, it's Vogue. This is getting boring. I give up on this stupid industry. So yeah, you can see that most of the stuff is either not recommended or just like informational, and most people are mentioning like that the game, even though it's a multiplayer, not part of the original trilogy, it's woke as hell. And that's what I meant in the beginning, that I'm not really fond of seeing the whole franchise evolving into the same direction as Dragon Age. I'm really not fond of that because I started to like the franchise and the first game because of let's say how neutral it was, and now it's just getting more and more like a list of DEI checkboxes that's being ticked instead of like really making a fun game with a good story. So I'm hoping that this is not the direction in which the third game will be evolving, because if yes, then I'm not even sure anymore at this point if I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, it was fun meeting some of the characters. So there are some characters from the first game that you can meet also in Horizon Forbidden West, and I was, like I said, I was trying to avoid the spoilers, so I was more surprised seeing some of the characters there. And it was fun, and in general, like I said, the characters are well written. The story, not so much anymore. It kind of like doesn't seem logical in certain parts anymore to me, but again, hey, I leave it for the review. I've talked a lot and enough about Horizon now, but yeah, I just there were just things that I wanted to mention. So this is related to the Horizon Hunters Gathering, and I just don't think it's evolving into a good direction. When you see something where you see recommended, it's like base game that gets the woke rights undergarments all tied up, so it's basically a sarcastic recommendation. I just don't think it's really going into a good direction, to be honest. Yeah, so yeah. So much for the game, and I can see, okay, more notes or more chats. Good. Thank you very much for being here, by the way. I know that there is an Easter weekend for a lot of you. I wasn't so sure if people will not be off. So I really appreciate that you dropped by. And yeah, what I wanted to say, like regarding these checkboxes, I actually saved a screenshot from the game that I'm currently playing. Let me just switch again. And yeah, I hope you can see that. So, like I said, the DI checkboxes, and as you can see, like this is the person that's having the vitiligo or vitiligo. So every single DI woke checkbox that you can think of was just checked in that game, including the DLC. And yeah. And I just found it a little bit off and a little bit too much already in the end. So yeah, just FYI. And then what else was there? Oh yeah, I wanted to show you. So basically, just for fun, I was looking into it. And there's a list, and that's not even the list of like all the characters and side characters. Like there's a ton which are like LGBTQ plus whatever ever. And I do have to laugh because Guerrilla said when they made the first game, and people were complaining that there is no romance in Horizon Zero Dawn, and they said, okay, they thought the situation in the game, in that in-game universe, is so so important for the main characters to focus on that, to resolve the main conflict, so that any romance would have been kind of like a distraction, and they didn't want to do this because they really wanted to focus solely on the main storyline and resolving that, what was happening. And they said they will probably not do any romances because that's not what Horizon should be about. Boom, here's the second game. The second game has a DLC. What is the DLC about? Aloy is gay. Oh, fantastic. Okay, I mean, I just have in my mind, the scene from what's it? What's this cartoon series, South Park? Yeah, when they were making fun of Kathleen Kennedy, put a chick in it and make her game lame and gay. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought about when I was seeing the stuff here. So they were saying there is no romance, and then they make the romance and basically make it gay because LGBTQ plus whatever. Like I said, the overall representation, I don't have a problem with these characters if they are well written and if it's like, let's say, in line with like how normally you would perceive people, or how common it would be, etc. I mean, worldwide there's like 9% of people who are LGBTQ plus. I think there was like somewhere in a recent study or Gallup or whatever, and yet you see I don't know how many percentage in the media, and it's just after so many years when we see this over representation, it's just you kind of start to be oversensible towards it. So I just don't want to see it everywhere. It doesn't, and not every second character needs to be gay. Okay, and it's just for me the worst part is exactly that one. If you make a game and you say you will not put in any relationship because the story should be more important, and it is a world-ending potential there for the world to end that the main character has to resolve as the game's conflict. If you want the people to focus on that and you say there will be no romances, and then suddenly, bam, you slam one into the game just because you need another tick box, that's when it doesn't really make me so happy. So that's why I'm maybe complaining about it so much. So let me check your comments. Okay, I can see you're rather quiet. Okay, so let me stop talking about Horizon. Let me go to the other stuff, and that's Kotalo, like I said. And this one is the one person that I was enjoying seeing. That was the side character from the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC. He was an Osaram Delver, and he had a fun personality. It was really fun to meet him again in the second game. And I do have to say that this is what I like on the Horizon series, that they are bringing back these characters, and they keep the writing very consistent for these characters, at least for these kind of side characters. And it was really a lot of fun to have this side quest with the character again. So that was really something that I have enjoyed. And then there is something that goes hand in hand with this. Let me just switch. And okay, John is saying, oh yeah, the surviving remnants of humanity would indeed search out dead end barren relationships. I mean, how do you want to procreate? You had only a certain amount of people that you could bring back after the wiping. The humanity wiped itself out, and that's where Horizon Zero Dawn starts. That you basically an AI brings back, let's say, people from embryos. They gestate them, and you only have a limited number of embryos or people whom you can preserve for the future. So if you would have so many LGBTQ plus people there in the populations, I don't really see a very big increase in the population over time, to be honest. So yeah, FYI. And let me switch. And what I wanted to say here also is the what goes hand in hand with the Horizon series. We were speculating a couple of weeks, months ago that Horizon, the third Horizon game, will be a flagship title for the PS6. And then people were saying, okay, look, the PS6 might take a bit longer, and it's probably the studio will probably not wait for the PS6, and they will just release the third game on PS5. We have now had the Horizon Hunters Gathering, and we have heard that they were basically working on it instead of the third game. So the third game is way out there in the future. Who knows when it will come out? And now Sony actually came out with the information that they are delaying the PS6 up to 2029. And for me, that means, well, probably Horizon, the third game, will still be a flagship title for the sixth PS because they will need a couple of years too. So I wouldn't wonder if it would be still a flagship title if the PS6 would be, let's say, presenting the game both for PS5 and PS6. If it would be there, we just didn't probably all expect that it will be so many years later. And I do have also for that the information which was shared. Let me just show you on the screen as well. And I will try to hit the correct button now. So the information here regarding the PlayStation came from PC Gamer, and Bloomberg was claiming that the rampant AI demand for memory is forcing Sony to consider pushing back the launch as far back as 2029. And in the meantime, and it was today, but unfortunately I didn't catch the article, I think there was even a mention that PS5 prices in the meantime will increase. So when we reach 2029 and they will release PS6, it will probably cost a ton of money. And at that point, there were already many people saying, okay, there is not really that much difference anymore cost-wise between a console and a PC. Because that is incredible where the pricing is going. I think I've noticed something like $900 for, I'm not sure for which version it was, but come on, $900, like for a console, that's quite a lot. I will have to check it out. I haven't, like I said, I haven't noted down the article or the info. It's just crossed my PC today, and unfortunately I missed to write it down, but yeah, I'm sure it will be all over the net in the coming days. So that was something that was also going hand in hand with this, and I see a relatively bleak future for the PC release, then also for Horizon 3. Not just that it will be so late, but also the rumor that Sony will stop like porting the games to PC. Who knows? Yeah, if they continue to go into the direction which I was just talking about with from the side of Guerrilla, I'm not really even sure if I'm looking forward, to be honest. But hey, we'll see. I will definitely keep you posted. And then there is something that is, again, not a very good information regarding some layoffs. I'm not sure if you have heard that. Not that I really care about the Battlefield 6, to be honest, but it is EA is doing, let's say, that they started again some layoffs, and they are closing down some studios, and they are trimming down the portfolio that they have, whether it's people or studios or games. And I'm just wondering, like, why is BioWare still around, to be honest, after so many flops and after so many millions which they have cost EA. And on the other hand, you are seeing they are laying off people who made Battlefield, and Battlefield was very, very successful. As you can see here, it was the best-selling game in the US in 2025. And yet EA is laying off these people. Why is BioWare still around, to be honest? I just don't get it, to be honest. I don't know. Okay, so regarding EA, there are many people who have, let's say, chimed in the EA forums themselves, and they also expressed their opinions on this information. And yeah, most people are not so fond of hearing that, to be honest. So it's kind of weird. And also, yeah. I was just for fun Googling this just to see just because I just wanted to see how the AI will summarize it. And yeah, it is currently a smaller restructured studio under Electronic Arts. Yeah, we know. And also, while BioWare still exists as a brand within EA, it differs significantly from the studio that created Mass Effect: The Dragon Age Origins. Again, why are they still around? I don't really think that they are capable of creating the next Mass Effect game on the same quality and level as they did with the previous games. And again, if they do some nonsense there in the game, which the people will not be happy about, the game will just again flop. And how many millions is EA willing to write off just because BioWare is BioWare? And on the other hand, you see them laying off people who made the best-selling game in the US in 2025. So it's just something that just doesn't make sense for me. I don't know how you see it, but for me, it's just, yeah, it's not something that would be easily explainable for me. If we are talking from the financial perspective, the people who made Battlefield, it would make more sense to keep them to make the next successful game instead of the people who are in BioWare who have made flops and cost EA already millions. So yeah, just FYI, because it doesn't make sense for me. And I can see, well, there's a lot of chat going on. Okay, so John is saying, yeah. Oh yeah, the surviving remnants of humanity would indeed search out the dead and barren relationships. That's what I mentioned before. Not 2029, I'll be 74. Oh, come on, it's not so much. I mean, yeah, that's the problem, that people are getting older, and some of the, let's say, game cycles or creations of games, development cycles are taking so long that it's just not becoming feasible anymore for some people to follow up on the franchises, because you never know if you will be around. I mean, that's you are an older generation, but it's going hand in hand with anybody else. Like, is everyone going to play the games when they retire? I mean, yeah, my plan is to play games when I retire, and you are a good example that, yeah, people are playing games even when they are older, but not everyone's going to do that. So some people might simply just not be around anymore for the next games, and I just don't see for some of the franchises any positive future, to be honest, because you really should be considering the current player base that you have when you are making another game. And yeah, we're all not getting younger, so I'm getting your concern. Snake is here. Hey, Snake. Hey, nice to see you here. Side note, I just got Mass Effect Legendary. So far so good. I love it. It was like $5 on Xbox Live. Yeah, currently it's on sale, or it was relatively recently, I think, on sale. And because it's already an older game or group of games, you can get it usually for like really a small price. So I'm wishing a lot of fun with the games. It's really fun to play through those. And what I would give to play them for the first time. Mass Effect Remake is very good. That's from John. Yeah. And Gaming Birch is saying maybe Mike Gamble has some dirt on EA leadership. See, I never thought about this. That's an interesting idea. Yeah, because he's still around. I think he's the only one who's still around, like from the older people now. What do you know, Gaming Birch? What we don't? Yeah, but it's I just it's probably one of the speculations that come up in someone's mind when they see something like this: Battlefield 6 devs getting laid off and the BioWare still being around. So yeah, speculations are flying. And Olivia is saying Mass Effect 5, if it doesn't get cancelled, will probably be the last game that comes out for them. Unfortunately, the Dragon Age team was completely separate from the Mass Effect team. Yeah, I've heard that. That's true. The problem what many people will see is, and especially the, let's say, normies, is that it's BioWare. It's like one brand. So what they see is BioWare, those that are not really so into the topic or so involved in the gaming and do not follow up on all the news. So what they see is BioWare. BioWare made Dragon Age the Veilguard, and they see the monstrosity that the game was. And now they see, okay, BioWare is making the next Mass Effect, and they will probably not know it's different people, and they will probably also don't care. It's not really going to be very attractive for the people who are, let's say, the normies, if I put it that way. Unfortunately, yeah. It is the name of the studio that's on the line, and I think at this point it's not really so great. But most of the DA team is gone and fired now. Yeah. I know, as most of them spread to other studios, so I'm having my own opinion about that. You're using Google, please show search history now. That's from Snake. It will be probably just a long search history now currently of the topics that I've prepared for today, so when I was looking for the stuff. And unlike many other people who say that they are not fond of AI, at least where I can really appreciate it, and I think I already said it, is the summary that the AI is giving you of the latest, let's say, news or updates, etc. So it's not bad. If you're looking for something and you are just interested in a general summary, the AI summary is a good thing. Of course, then if you want to dig a little bit deeper, then you should not rely on AI. You should really start researching on your own, because that's what I've noticed. Like sometimes when I was looking for something and the AI gave me, let's say, a summary or was providing me some information, it wasn't exactly the truth. So I am not relying on it, to be honest. But yeah, the general summaries are quite good, and I like those. Play Mass Effect 1 again, it's 1,000 times better, but still so frustrating. Yes, I think the covering system was awful. It drove me nuts in Mass Effect 1. Like, it never really worked properly, so I got shot dead a couple of times just because, like, I couldn't really hide behind a barrier somewhere, somehow. So that was the biggest downside. I still remember to this day the covering system. And Gaming Birch is saying, I don't know anything, it's just the most plausible reason I can think of. Well, like I said, I don't know. And John is saying, ME1 is still my favorite of the series. I understand why, because for a long time people had just the first one and it was something new for the time, and I really enjoyed the first one as well. But the moment the second came out, I will be honest, the second is probably the one that I'm the most fond of the series, but I like the whole series. And Snake is saying, it's like the big gaming owner, like my 5 point, how to not make a game for your fan base. And Olivia is saying Mass Effect 3 is my favorite. It's if the next Mass Effect is bad, then at least we have other games so that the genre doesn't die. Oh yeah, Exodus and Expanse. I'm going to talk about those a little bit as well. And Snake is saying it's so hard to pick my favorite Mass Effect 2 or Mass Effect 3. I like both. They have both very good things going for them. Mass Effect 2 in general, I would say, is still my favorite, but the Citadel DLC from Mass Effect 3, that's just awesome. I really appreciated that one. That is a great DLC. It's one of the top for me. So there is, funnily enough, also from the Witcher series, I do prefer the second game more than the third one, but then the third one had the Blood and Wine DLC, and I really love that, and I think that's the best part of the whole series. And for me, also from Mass Effect, I think the Citadel DLC is the best part of the series. But hey, subjective view. And Gaming Birch is saying, Spring 2027 will be our time. Yes, Exodus, Expanse, both at the same time. And I actually like it how they are exchanging, tweets on Twitter or X. If you are there, and for the people that are there, if you are looking at the tweets from Exodus, sometimes the Expanse or OwlCat Games is chiming in on their tweets, reacting, and the other way around. So Archetype is reacting to OwlCat Games tweets regarding Osiris Reborn. So they are very nicely talking to each other, even though they are in the same genre and they will be releasing the games at the same time. But I do like this kind of banter that they are having on X, so it's kind of fun to watch. Expandus, I think it was Expandus, was how they called it. Bion gave us a Citadel DLC because they fucked up the ending so bad that they have to do something to get us off their asses. Yeah, that's from Snake. Yeah, and Gaming Birch. I mean Expodus. Okay. I think they made different variations of the combo of the two games, like the naming of the two games combined together. They did create a couple of the versions. Expandus was, I think, the one that I liked the most, but yeah, there were more, definitely. I was actually trying to find it. They listed them in one of the tweets, but I didn't really have the time anymore. But if you find the tweet, let me know, because there was a good list there. So that much for this part. What else do I have? I do have quite a lot, like I said, or like you probably didn't hear in the beginning because there was no sound. Let me see, what do I have? Oh yeah, then Epic Games are also doing layoffs, which was also not so great. So if you look at it, there's a lot of layoffs currently happening again in the gaming industry. And also at Epic Games, not just on the publishers or studios side. So it's not really so great. For some people, I have to say, okay, it was kind of expected, but for some, like Epic Games, I honestly didn't expect that. There is also I think they made a post about that. Let me see. Oh yeah, there was on Epic Games, they made a note and they basically announced some more information regarding the layoffs. Let me maybe show it on the screen. Okay, so I hope you can see that. And as you can see that there is, it's from March the 24th. And this note was sent to Epic employees today, and they are saying the first sentence right away. Today we are laying off over 1,000 Epic employees. That's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, yeah, it's just not so great. I will post the link to this in the description, of course, so you can read it for yourself. In general, I will post the links to everything, even though you can say it's quite a long list what I have. Most of the stuff here is just little bits and pieces, but this one is something that is again not a very positive information within the gaming industry. I just don't see a very positive future for many things, and I'm not sure what to think of this. I mean, yeah, I'm sure not all of the people will be able to find work within the gaming industry. They will have to move to other industries and other completely other parts of employment. And I just don't think it's so great if you are somebody who has, let's say, spent the majority of their working life in the gaming industry, and you have a good sense of what you're doing and what needs to be done, and the background information and everything, and suddenly you are thrown into a situation where you can no longer continue in that same area or in that same industry, and you have to focus on something completely different. It's quite a big change, and I don't think that this will be very positive for many people, unfortunately. So yeah, it's not something that I would take lightly, although I am saying oftentimes that some of the industry was a little bit, let's say they had a little bit too many employees, especially when we are looking at some studios and when we are looking at some publishers. But this is something a little bit different. So I feel sorry for the people, to be honest. So yeah, FYI. And let me go back. And I can see, okay, Gaming Birch is writing, John Romero said that the current crash is worse than the gaming industry crash from the 80s he also lived through. Yeah. Him and his wife said that they are lucky they already made games for fun and don't have to do it for the living. And I think there will be many people who are in the unfortunate position that they have made games for the living, and currently there is not really much left for them here. So many typos today, I should already go to bed. No. Okay, no worries. Come on. I can still read it even if there are typos. No bad, please stay around. No, so that was a little bit from the not so great news, but I have again some fun that I want to share with you. But let me just maybe check what else I have. No, I don't want to skip. Talking about the Sony stuff, Horizon and Sony before, the PlayStation as such has a voting for games for each of the months, like what would be your best March, for example, game. And they put out the voting now. let me share. I had a good laugh, not because of the voting as such, but because of who's number one on the list. And I had a good laugh. And if you look at the page, so here's the PlayStation blog, Player's Choice, vote for March 2026 Best New Game. And you scroll down to the list and look what's in the first place. 1348 ex voto. That's the Vogue DEI crap game with the they-them unidentifiable character with the bowl haircut. How can you even put this game on the first place? That's just I was having a good laugh when I have seen this. Okay, so yeah, of course, naturally, Crimson Desert is there as well, and I think they're going to win it. At least they probably should, because, like I said, they already sold 4 million copies by now. I will come to that. But the first one, ex voto, come on. I mean, if they would have subcategories, which would be there, and probably Gaming Bird, you have noticed this, I have already posted it also on Twitter. It would be understandable to vote for ex voto as best tragicomedy. Then, it would make sense to put them on the list, but best new game, nah. For sure not. So yeah, and talking about Crimson Desert, and that's the next thing. So basically, I've noticed that people are posting little snippets of the game that they are playing also on Twitter. I think there's the most stuff that I have seen so far, and I'm really looking forward to play the game. To be honest, I'm really looking forward because there are so many things that the people are posting as fun. So as you can see, the Crimson Desert account has made a post like "Show us your pets," and they started with one cat, but then the people started to post here cats wearing all sorts of clothing, and I had just a good laugh. Then here's the next one. And there's just so many, and you can do so much fun stuff with those. I think I've even read somewhere that you can fill your camp with these animals, like having them as your pets. And the pictures that the people are posting are just really like funny. So yeah, this one is also great. It's a cat. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to playing this. It will be just fun to do this, and it's a great. I think the idea of having the game as a sandbox game is great because the people are obviously having a lot of fun with it, and I think that's that's something that's been forgotten by many of the game developers. Just make games for fun. I know, sure, there is the point that many people have made. It doesn't really have an extra great story, and you're kind of really quickly through the main storyline if you just focus on it, etc., etc. They have advertised it, especially not as RPG, and they have clearly said it before the game released. Like, that's not an RPG. So to expect the RPG story to be so in-depth or so important for the game as it is for an RPG, it's just not going to happen. This is a sandbox game where you're supposed to just explore and have fun, and I think that's exactly how the people are treating the game. They're just having fun. There are people that have already, I don't know, 100 hours in the game, and they are just enjoying it, and I can completely understand when you see stuff like that. And yeah, this one is also great. So I will post some of the links. You can watch the stuff then for yourself. A dog with armor. I had fun, good fun on this one. So they included a fan in the game, and look what you can do with the fan. So the enemies are just flying away. I mean, this is just crazy. And the people are just finding all sorts of new little details and new fun stuff that you can do in the game. And I think that's why the game is currently so successful, because people are just fed up with all the stuff that's been going on in the games, all the flops and slops, and they just want to have fun, and this game is giving them the option to have fun. So just wanted to point out that one. Let me switch so I can see your comments. John is saying, instead of focusing on adapting to the future, game companies wasted time and treasure doing retrograde social justice nonsense. Yeah. And Snake is saying to Gaming Bird, you don't need sleep, that's quieter talk, you need to get drunk more, game more, and rock on. Okay, guys, let me take just a short break. I need to clean my nose. The spring and allergy season is back again, so I will just be off for 40 seconds, and then I will be back. Let me just do it because I barely talk already. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Thank you very much for your patience. And I can see a gaming birch is saying, yeah, that would have worked for me 15 years ago. Nowadays, I get more sleepy the more I get drunk. Wait till you're even older. It's the same here. And yeah, never give up. You can sleep when you're dead. Yeah, Snake, it's not working that way, unfortunately. It would be nice if it would be working that way, but I'm afraid it's just... you need some sleep, at least to function like a normal person. So yeah, good. Let me go back to Crimson Desert, actually. There is something more that I wanted to show you. In the... let me also check my notes. And... oh yeah, by the way, I wanted to mention something for John, actually. And... it was related to YouTube, so I'm going to talk about YouTube a little bit later on. I hope you're still there by the end of the stream. If not, then check out the recording later. But yeah, YouTube is kind of messy recently, and I have noticed your point about the missing comments, and you're not the only one. So I did I did a little bit of research on that topic, so I have some info there for you. But let me go back to... yeah, let me go back to Crimson Desert, and let me share the screen again with you. Let me see. Okay. And there are some other things that I have found, and let's say not that crazy or not that much fun. But if you look at this, somebody made the effort to stand there and record, and look at the top of the stone here. So in the game, the stonemasons are really working on that statue, and it's unbelievable. You can see the progress over time as they are carving out this, I think it's a wolf or something, or a dog or a wolf out of the stone, and you can really see the progress when you see this recording, and it's just crazy. So the game has details like that. Not just things suddenly popping up, but really the stonemasons over time working on that statue. It's just crazy. Yeah, as the person is writing, the amount of tiny stuff they added is wild, and most players won't even notice it. This is just awesome. Yeah. So that was one of the other things that I wanted to mention, and there are also already mods for the game. And this one is the dark mode map. So when you're playing the game during the night, this one is definitely something that is worth installing probably. Although I do have a note that I have to say, and I have noticed many people are writing that in the current state of the game, I wouldn't recommend modding it just yet. Game ends up breaking after every update, and most likely ends up making your game not capable of launching anymore. I had to manually remove every single modded file by hand, so for it to work again. I guess it depends on the mods you use, but still, this map doesn't seem to be causing the issue, or some of the other stuff that people already created, the mods, where they removed some items, but still good to keep in mind that if you want to mod the game, probably it might be worth waiting for a couple of patches until the game is a little bit more patched, so that you don't completely break it. So just FYI. And this one was also crazy. So it is saying that the Crimson Desert, the person that was playing, it was leading him to a circus. I had a blast and ended up stealing a lion. So that one was also fun. When you look at it, there's the lion. And you just ride off on the lion. Right into the sunset on a lion. Okay, I mean the amount of details, like it was written before, the amount of details in the game and the fun that you can have is just crazy. And this one was also a nice observation. the Crimson Desert players have found a trick that allowed them to fly by spamming the stab ability while being airborne. And Pearl Abyss saw this exploit, and instead of patching it, they added a whole new animation, making it a real mechanic. This is how you treat players, right? And I think that's why they have won already most of the people over who are playing the game. Because they behave like this as well. So they are not like patching out something as a bug. They rather see that people are having fun with it and they are improving on that, let's say. So it's a lot of positive stuff that we are hearing about the game. And if you look at some statistics, somebody pulled out also these statistics. And currently, the game is like 208,000 people are playing the game. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth game, most played game. So it's crazy. And I think, I'm not sure if you have noticed, I think the biggest blast that some of the content creators had was when IGN came out with their review, and we know IGN's review. I did criticize them for it. They gave Veilguard a 9 out of 10, and they gave Crimson Desert a 6 out of 10. And naturally, people were having fun at IGN's expense, and they were just laughing at them and saying like, come on guys, you're crazy. Every time you see IGN giving something a high level, or they estimate it's like a high level game, like I don't know how to put it, so 9 out of 10 for Veilguard, you know exactly the game is going to be crap. And when they give something 5 or 6 out of 10, you know this will be a great game that most players will enjoy. That's exactly what happened here as well. So, yeah. What can I say? It's IGN, okay? So just for the fun of it, just so you can see it. And then we are already at the Expanse and Exodus topic. Let me just maybe switch a little bit back so I can see your comments. And Snake is saying, my 6-year-old daughter was wearing my headsets and play my Xbox game on accident. It was so cute. I took a picture. Oh damn. Then my wife looked at me. Why do I get yelled at when I try to play your game? I just told her to shut up, woman. You're not on the same level. Okay. And Gaming Birch is saying, Mr. Holton called this the fastest redemption story in gaming history, and it really seems to be so. IGN rating is just a meme now. Exactly. But like I said, you can be very sure that if they are rating something on a certain level, then you know exactly what to think of it. And it's basically the opposite of what they are rating it at. So yeah, reminds me of a movie critic I was following years ago. If he said 5 out of 10, I knew I would love it. If he rated 9 out of 10, I didn't go. Exactly. I think most people also commented on that IGN review. Look guys, see, that's exactly why all of the players are making already fun out of game journalists, because they produce nonsense like this. So yeah, I think it just, it fits. So that much for Crimson Desert. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to playing the game, because there's so much stuff that the people are posting where you can have some fun. So I'm definitely going to play it and just maybe post some stuff. And then I will be honest, I fell for an April Fool's joke by OwlCat Games. I actually made the effort, because I know that Spell and Shield is... I hope you know him. He's a YouTube creator as well, with a much larger following, and he's really having great bits. So I did, actually I'm on his Discord, and I went to his Discord and I said, okay, have you seen this? Because it looks very interesting. And I completely fell for it until I realized that it was posted on the 1st of April and it was too good to be true. So what they did, they posted this thing. OwlCat Games, is it too late for us to become a CRPG? We want to be on Allbrick 2. That's from the Expanse Osiris Reborn in terms of reacting to the post from OwlCat Games, where they made the ad for a first ever console built specifically for CRPGs. I should have realized already at that point that it's April's Fool joke. And they called it the All Break. You can see it on the screen now. So that was coming in 2026 even, yes, of course. So I did completely fall for it. I will link it in the description below. I fell for this crap. I fell for it. But it's a great April Fool's joke. So yeah, and I even like posted it for other people. So I had fun at my own expense then afterwards. But talking about the Expanse Osiris Reborn, I did mention it, that don't forget, if you're interested in the beta, in taking part in the beta gameplay, what they said is they are opening it now on April the 22nd, and it will run until the game releases. So when the game is about to release in a year, which will be spring 2027, it means that you will have the game available for about a year. Of course, not the full game, just a certain part, as they said, but still, you can take part. And they also have posted here on Twitter that they are giving away 5 Steam keys for the beta, which will start on April the 22nd. All you have to do is follow, like, repost, and comment to participate, and they will announce the winners on April the 21st. So in case you're interested and you are on Twitter or X, then definitely you can check it out and try to participate and see if you can win for the beta key. So that one was regarding the beta. And then what they did, and I found this really cool, was they have included now a section on the companions on their website, on the game's homepage, and you can click through all of the companions. Naturally, they start with Jay, which is the sister or brother of your main character, so depending on whom you are creating, and that's why it's written here, gender same as the main character, origin same as the main character, because it's your twin, so this will be a twin. And then if you click here, you can go and cycle through all the characters. I think most of the male audience has said that they have already like pre-ordered the game simply because of her when they have seen her, which isn't a surprise to me, because I'm sure you have noticed it in the latest gameplay trailer that the lady really looks very, very nice. And then of course there are all the other characters, so you can read a little bit about them and get some more information up front. And I do think that they did, let's say, a little bit of everything. So they did, let's say, characters that will be more appealing for the, let's say, younger player base. And then they did characters which will be a bit more appealing to the older gamers. In general, I think they did quite a good like variety of characters here. So feel free. I will, again, post the link in the description below, and feel free to check it out. But I find it kind of cool that they are now adding some more stuff. And also what they did show us was the gameplay trailer, which I was already talking about in one of the vids. And here you can see, that's the bridge to the next game, how they react to each other's posts. So Exodus has replied to the Expanse Osiris Reborn, that trailer rips, congrats on the reveal everyone. So you can see that they are like very positively interacting, and I really like it that they are like cool in their social media sites, and they are interacting this way. So yeah, so much for Osiris Reborn. Let me check what you are saying. Snake is saying, I try to explain to my wife that she needs to invest more points and charisma for Paragon to get access to that. So after she beat my ass, I remember how much Renegade is effective. Yes. And Olivia is saying, have to clock into work, but I'm so excited to catch up and watch the rest. And thank you very much for being here, Olivia, again. Thank you also for pointing out the sound. That was really great. Thank you. Yeah, I love to see you then on the next stream, and have fun, and take it easy at work. Have a great weekend. And for the rest, I will go then to Exodus, because for Exodus, we did see a couple of the trailers that they have revealed, and also some new information. And by the way, Gaming Birch, I know that you have noticed also the newest trailer, which I didn't even catch on. Aside from the one that I was mentioning, or which I was pointing out, and that was the trailer with the, heights, everything was so very, very high up, and I was like, not so fond of it. They made another trailer which is introducing us to like a frozen world, and let me show you. Let me skip to the next part. And that is okay. So this one, which you can see on the screen, was the one that I was reacting to, and I've made a little vid about it when I talked about what we can see, and the description from the main game page, what they were introducing in this trailer. But then they posted the new one, and the new one is exploring a distant frozen world. And that one is actually, if you look at it, showing us the, I think that's the octopus. That's the next team member. So here is Elise on the right side in that mech suit, but on the left side, that was the octopus, I think. And from a like purely visual point of view, the game looks really awesome. So yeah, very Mass Effect-y, as many people were pointing out. And I'm really looking forward to this game as well. So far, both the Expanse, Osiris Reborn, and Exodus look really cool. And what I really appreciate is that they have they seem to have like very different stories. And it's not like they are copying something purely from, let's say, Mass Effect. They really are each a thing of their own. So there's really two great games coming, I think, to which we can look forward to. I will definitely keep an eye on that, on both of the games, but on this spot I wanted to highlight, if you are interested, especially in Exodus, Gaming Birch's channel is the one to go to. Definitely he has a lot of stuff to talk about Exodus, and he spent already a couple of vids on the game as well, so check out his channel. So that much for Exodus. Yeah, here's the trailer, and then we have the next topic already, but let me switch again just to see what you are saying. And can see that there is no new chat at this point, so let me go to the next one, and that next one, the next topic, but let me switch. So the next topic is Nexus Mods. And I know I have mentioned it already a couple of times on the channel, and we talked about it, that the Nexus Mods does seem to have a, let's say, problem with a censorship. Let me put it that way. They were censoring people left and right for certain things, and I think there was a good example. So somebody created a mod where a previously white character was made into a black character. And the mod was there and stayed on the side because, hey, why not? Okay, if somebody wants to use that, why not? And everyone was okay with that. And then somebody made a mod where they did the opposite. So if you have noticed, or if you have heard, there was a mod for God of War Ragnarok where the character that was there, which was a black character, somebody made a mod to change it into a white character. And that mod, and I'm not even sure if not the entire modder or his page has been banned from Nexus Mods. And I really do have a problem with this one-sided decisions like this. Either you ban both or you allow both. but banning one and allowing the other one is racist as fuck, to be honest. And that's how I see it. And that's the problem, that Nexus Mods has been doing this kind of censorship for a long time. And then it's not a censorship that would be censoring something, let's say, sensitive for everyone, or from all... how do I put it? Like, not censoring, they are not censoring evenly. If they would be censoring evenly, probably people wouldn't have such a problem with that as they have now. But their censorship is very one-sided, and that's when people have already criticized them, and that's why we already see an increase on different new modding sites that are popping up, where you can host mods and where you don't get this kind of censorship. And aside from that, they had also, for example, a strict rule that you cannot have a link on your modding page, or the authors of the mods could not post links to their Patreon pages, which I honestly, again, find laughable, because it's understandable, but also I find it laughable. People who are making the mods for free. You can download the mods for free from Nexus Mods, but they are still investing a lot of time and effort into making those mods. And if somebody wants to voluntarily give them some money, either via Buy Me a Coffee or via Patreon, I'm pretty sure that it will be much appreciated, because it will offset at least a little bit the time investment or the money investment. I mean, you need to have some tools to create the mods. So that's not a hobby that doesn't cost anything, I would say, okay? So I find it okay, and for me it's natural when some creators like this post the links to Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee, etc. And again, it's voluntarily for those people available who want to contribute. And if you don't want to contribute, you can just simply download the mod and that's it. So I don't see really a reason why Nexus Mods would have a problem with that. On the other hand, there might be, let's say, some legal requirements that if you have a certain platform where you are saying, okay, stuff is there for free, then there shouldn't be links like that, etc. I would understand it from this point of view as well. But still, we are talking about Nexus Mods. What happened this time when they went completely overboard is they have banned someone for having a link for their Patreon page, not on Nexus Mods, but on one of their other social media sites. And I think the KGB would be like completely happy to have such censorship happy people in their ranks, because I completely find this already nuts, to be honest. Let me show you the post where this was, because that one, I was staring at it and reading it like twice because I didn't want to believe it. But yes, it is true. Let me share. So as you can see, the account from Chibi Reviews has summarized the situation. So Nexus Mods censors and bans mods. Nexus Mods forces age verification on their site. Nexus Mods will now scan your socials to see if you have links on them that's not even on their site. If they find links on your own Twitter account leading to Patreon, they will ban everything you've created. I mean, this is crazy. And that was originally posted here, like, all my mods are now, that's from this person, all my mods are now deleted from Nexus. It's all gonna be available on Patreon site only, so they were there as well. They asked me to stop promoting my Patreon site on Nexus. I remove all the Patreon site references from my mod description, and then they take it all down, and their argument is I'm linking my Twitter, and it has my card link, which has my Patreon site. You cannot make this shit up. Like, seriously, this is just crazy. Like, what are we even doing there? You are not having on the site anything that would go against their TOS. You are having it on completely different sites and you still get banned. Yeah, I mean, this is this kind of censorship is just driving me nuts when I see that. Yeah. And Gaming Birch is saying, yeah, completely agree with the double standards for censorship. This is not even the first case. I regularly see it for different games. Either allow both or ban both. And Snake is saying, it's a mod. I don't care what mod you do. It's your game. Have fun. Exactly. That's my point. Yeah, and Gaming Birch is saying, how are you affected when I change my game? Yeah, and that's the point. Like, you shouldn't... I mean, I would understand if they would ban certain mods which are already, let's say, above a certain, I would say, legal threshold. Okay, let me put it that way. Okay, if you would make propaganda for, I don't know, fascism or whatever, I would understand that they are naturally banning this kind of mods, because that is already something that would bring to them a lot of legal problems. I understand that. But banning something that's not against any kind of laws or anything, and you just do a very one-sided banning, and you have a problem with people using that mod in your game. People are using those mods usually in like single-player games, which they are playing at home on their own PC. Nobody is affected with that. So why is this even being censored? Like you're saying, it's just not making any sense. And this one was just, to me, absolutely crazy when I have seen it. So, yeah. And the other ones who are also going completely crazy are YouTube. And I will just show you. I'm not going to play the vid, but I wanted to show you. I will link it, and you can watch it for yourself. I'm sure you know it, or I have already mentioned, there is deep humor on YouTube. And the guy is very often talking about what's going on with YouTube in terms of what's not working, what changes are coming, and what they will mean for both the creators as well as the viewers. And in this one, which is saying YouTube just destroyed notifications, he is mentioning that basically YouTube has now made a change, that they are discontinuing. I think they were just testing it. It's not yet fully applied. They will discontinue notifications even if you are subscribed to someone. So even if you subscribe to someone and you push this little bell icon and you want to get all the notifications, and that's the reason why you are clicking that bell icon to get all the notifications, then it can still happen that YouTube will decide that they will not send you notifications. I mean, it's just awful. I don't understand, like, why are they slowly destroying their platform with this kind of nonsense? People are absolutely pissed at that. On one hand, you see a lot of AI flooding YouTube. And on the other hand, and they don't really do that much unless people already start really to scream a lot. And on the other hand, you see them discontinuing useful stuff, or stuff that people were using regularly, or that they wanted to have. And they are just discontinuing it and destroying over time everything that was good and working on the platform. I don't know who makes these decisions, but I don't think they live in a reality, because they definitely do not listen to what the people want on the platform or from the platform. And this is just awful. So I advise you really to listen to the video. It has about 8 minutes. I will also again link it in the description below, or you can check it out yourself. You can see it. And check out also Deep Humor's page if you are interested in what's going on. But this one is absolutely crazy. Like, it's one of the crazy decisions which are just making you go like, why? It just doesn't make sense. And also, on another topic which is related to YouTube and that I wanted to mention, but let me switch again. And And that one was related to, and John, I can see you are still here. So that one was related also to the comments which are saying that you are disappearing. So I did a little bit of a research, but let me pull out my notes because I have written it down. And so I did a little bit Google, and then I found certain things which people have noticed, or that were like an advice from the Google AI what to do. Avoid posting multiple comments quickly. So in case you are posting some comments and you see your comments disappearing when you are posting them somewhere, avoid posting multiple comments very quickly, because they consider it to be like spam. The AI, the YouTube's AI. Then avoid editing comments repeatedly. Unfortunately, that also, if you are like having a comment that you will go back and you just fix typos and you don't notice all of them at the same time, and you go back second or third time, again, this is considered to be bad, and then your comment will be just deleted by the AI moderation tools. And don't include too many emojis. And I had to laugh here because I'm using quite a lot of those, honestly. So my comments, even on my own channel, must be an annoyance to the YouTube's AI moderation tools. And the final suggestion was just post one clean comment and leave it and see what happens. If the comment stays, it means the previous one might have been considered spam for whatever reason the crazy AI from YouTube came up with. And if not, the problem might be that the user could be actually also shadow banned, because the YouTube AI algo thinks that it's some kind of spam bot. And I am having most of you, if not all of you, on there is an option for every creator to have like a list of approved users. So I trust the people to post, let's say, good comments on my site, and I don't want any filters to filter out the comments. And most of you are in my list of approved users. It's the people who are coming to the live streams. It's the people who are commenting on my videos and whom I know already for a few years, and I know I can trust. And the last part was absolutely killing me. Like, unfortunately, the approved users list does not override YouTube's AI system. So the YouTube's AI can still decide to delete your comments, even if I explicitly tell them you are an approved user and I don't want them to delete your comments. And by the way, the same happened also with Luis. We had a discussion on that as well, because Luis's comments have disappeared and I don't know why. And also Snake, by the way. I'm not sure if you remember, we had actually quite a good discussion. We had like 3 or 4 replies back and forth when we were discussing something. I don't even remember what it was. And there was like I didn't really see anything inappropriate in those comments. It was absolutely okay for me. They were like normal words, no cursing, no nothing. And the original comment was held in the YouTube studio, and I found it there. So I released it because I was reading through it, and I said, okay, it's a completely normal comment. Let's continue the discussion. I replied to you, then you replied back, then I replied again. And then after like the 4th comment, suddenly the entire thread was gone. And I was looking for it, like if it's again back into the held into like behind the wall, and I have to like release the whole comment section again. And no, it was gone. And I was completely pissed, to be honest. And to tell you why, from my perspective now, as a creator, I do depend a lot on the YouTube's algorithm to pushing out my videos to a broader audience if I want to like get either new subscribers or more watch hours, or if I just want to interact with new people. And the YouTube's algorithm is looking at multiple things in a video, if it's going to be pushing out the video to more people or not. And one of those things is comments. how are the people reacting or interacting with the video? And if there are a lot of comments, then it will be pushing out the video again to more people, because it, like the logic there for the YouTube AI is, okay, this is something where the people are interacting a lot. It's very interesting videos. It means it must be a good video, so let's push it out. Every deleted comment, therefore, hurts this pushing out of the video to the algorithm, or to more people, to the audience. And this is why it's pissing me off, because I'm trying really not to delete any comments. Yes, I did have to delete some, but those were like coming from people I let's say, don't really appreciate. And then those were either rude or really like not really in line with Google's TOS, let me put it that way. So I couldn't really release those, so I did have to delete those. But those are few and just here and there, and usually like not from people that I would know. So like I said, most of you are on the list of approved users, and it really happens very rarely. And whenever I can, I'm happy about every single comment that comes in, because for the YouTube algo, again, it's a positive sign. People are interacting with the video. Now imagine if you have a small channel like mine and you rarely get interactions. You are happy about every single comment. So every time I see something suddenly disappear and just being auto-deleted by these stupid YouTube's AI tools, I'm really angry, to be honest. So it's not just on your side that it's very frustrating, and I absolutely understand it, that it's very frustrating for you if you write some comment and it just disappears. It is also hurting basically the channel, so it's also frustrating for me, to be honest. So just FYI, it's absolutely crap for me too. So just so you know, I'm really not happy when I'm reading then some comments like from you, John, when you are mentioning like all of my comments are being deleted because I haven't even seen them. That means that they have to be either like banned from the start, or it was deleted before I even opened YouTube Studio. I don't even get notifications. By the way, that's the next thing. Like I used to get notifications for every single comment that somebody posted. I have it in my settings that I'm getting an email with the notification, hey, this person has posted a comment, and you can read at least the start of the comment in the email. I'm not even receiving those notifications anymore. And I still, when I go into my settings, I can still see that it's turned on. I do have this notification alert on, and I am not even receiving the notifications anymore. So it's really not so great what's going on with YouTube lately, and I just wanted to let you know. So this is what I try to, let's say, investigate a little bit on my part. And yeah, unfortunately, it's I just think the AI tools that YouTube is using are just slowly breaking the platform, to be honest. And I can see that you are writing some comments. Let me just check it. And John is saying Patreon paywalls are only an issue when the mods contain pirated assets. Be aware of this. Okay, yeah, understandable. And Snake, that's still related to the mods. Snake is saying, yeah, I don't care what mod you make. You can make it about mean mustache man all you want, as long there are no kids involved. I'm okay. I think that's everybody's going to say that, okay? So nobody really wants to see mods that would be exploiting, let's say, this kind of topics or areas. Nobody wants that. And I do understand that's why certain, let's say, censorship has to be on a platform, but it doesn't have anything to do with what's currently going on. Unfortunately, that's not the type of censorship that I would appreciate already, what we talked about before. And Snake is saying, yeah, me and YouTube AI is getting into it all the time, and you section it doesn't like my PT-13 jokes, but my wait at all jokes, and let's go. Yeah, I think that was a discussion about fat characters. I think that one was it, no? Yeah. I'm definitely not on the approved list. Not yet, Snake, to be honest. I'm just afraid that if I would do that and you would from time to time, write these words with these asterisks, YouTube AI is actually not really fond of seeing those comments with the YouTube asterisks, and the comments get auto-deleted, no matter what you're using the asterisks for. I was testing it out with somebody else, and I just put in the asterisks into a completely normal word, and just because of this word with the asterisks, the whole comment was deleted. So yeah, let's talk about it maybe then separately. The comment was about Mass Effect's new game, and I was making jokes about how not to make a good game step by step, and you said you was going to use it, and yeah, exactly, yeah, and that we were just discussing it, and then whole thread, yeah, and I didn't see anything there in the thread that would be problematic, to be honest. But hey, for whatever reason, YouTube's moderation tools are not fond of certain phrases, I'm afraid. And Gaming Birch is saying, I guess that explains why YouTube says I have a comment on one of my videos. I can't find it anywhere. Go into YouTube Studio and there is, I mean, I can show you. I don't mind. Let me just open it in the meantime. Just to show you what I mean and what it actually looks like for the content creator. But I'm sure some of you know. Let me just go to YouTube Studio and then I will share it with you. And community, yeah, okay, and let me switch. And okay, so you can see now in my YouTube Studio, there's this community page. So you can see all the comments which are there. Let me switch. And here is a filter which is saying published. So automatically you can see when you open YouTube Studio, you can only see the comments that were published either automatically or which I have already released. I mean, some creators have like a preset that they have to manually release every comment. I have a preset that the comments are being automatically released. Now, if there is something which the YouTube's AI moderation tools don't find so correct, then you have to click here onto this held and just click on apply. And currently, as you can see, I have nothing there. And sometimes you can see then the inappropriate, but in YouTube sense, inappropriate comment, it's here. And you have like a tick box, something like this here. You have a tick box in front of it, and you can decide what you are going to do with it. You can either delete it or you can approve it, and it's being then published and everybody can see it. But you have to go like specifically here into this filter and change it from published to held. And only then you can see those comments. And what happened to me a couple of times already was that somebody posted a comment, and I think I have also seen it like here, on my channel, there is like a 1, you will see a red 1, so I can see that I have like one comment there, and I went into the comments and I went to the published ones, and I didn't see any comment here, so I said, okay, probably it was held, and then I go into held and apply, and there is nothing. And it was clear then to me that actually the moderation tools even managed to delete the comment in the meantime already. So I still got this notification 1 there, but the comment was nowhere to be found anymore. So sometimes I don't even see the comments that YouTube is auto-deleting. That's the worst part. If I would at least see them here, okay. But I don't. I sometimes really don't. It's just getting auto-deleted. So FYI, it's just absolutely crazy what's YouTube doing currently. It's just not so great, yeah. And yeah, Gaming Birch is saying, you're my favorite source of explaining issues with YouTube. I just always assume I'm going crazy, then you talk about how it's a general issue with YouTube. Yeah, because watching Dim Humor and some other creators who are talking about this, and then I see myself that I am affected by it. Sometimes I'm noticing those issues myself, and then I start to, let's say, research, and then I find this kind of videos that explain what's going on, and I can see, okay, it's a bigger problem for multiple creators. Or I can research, you know, on Google and just see whether there was not a discussion thread on that topic, and most of the time it is already there. So you are not alone, and you are definitely not going crazy. And Snake is saying, maybe I was giving away inside information, that's why they deleted it. Left my ass off. You know too much. Yeah. Okay. So like I said, the YouTube stuff, sometimes it's like really... I prefer not really to talk about it on the channel, to be honest, that much, because there are other creators who are just dedicating their entire channels to talk about these issues and also propose solutions for that. But the moment when it affects me, and especially when I see that it affects you, then I'm trying to at least like do some research and figure out what's going on, because I'm, like I said, I'm also not happy when I see that my own viewers are frustrated from, I don't know, comments disappearing. That's not what I would like to see on the channel, you know? So, yeah. Because I cherish every single one of you, and Snake, even our discussions. So even if YouTube is trying to held down the discussions. So just FYI. And I would like to, let's say, end on a more positive note. And that is the Pompeii, the Legacy, the game. I'm not sure if you remember, I did play the demo last year in spring. I think it's a year ago that I was playing it. And it was at a stage where there were still a lot of improvements needed. And I was really happy to see that the developer, Žalko, that's the guy who's developing the game, that's the indie game dev. He's working alone on the game. Yes, he had support for voice acting and music and some other stuff, but in general, he's doing the game on his own. And he was really appreciating all the feedback that the people gave him from the demo. And I was happy to see that the game has improved very significantly since that time. So he did an early access in fall 2025, so about half a year ago, and now actually the game will have like a full release. So it's done. It will have a full release on the 9th of April. Let me show you on the screen. I hope I can... Oh yeah, I have it. So let me share with you. I know, like I said, that it's not maybe a game that everybody would like to play because it's a city builder. It's not an RPG or something, but still I really find the game beautiful. It's really nice. I really appreciate the voice acting that was there. What was it? I wrote a couple of notes. So the looks of the buildings and of the game is really, really nice. The game mechanics are easy to understand. There's a good tutorial at the beginning. And aside from the main campaign, you can also actually use a sandbox within the game. So you can play whatever map you want, however you want. And that's what I appreciate on the game. So it's not just like you have to go through a campaign, but you can like really try to build your own city on a separate map, and that's really nice. And honestly, I find it very impressive. It's a very, very cool looking game. It has on Steam very positive reviews, and it just costs $20, guys. So I'm pretty sure that if you have at least once played a city builder, those $20 or euros will be well spent with this game, to be honest. Let me share also the this one. So that's the post, which is saying that the full game will release on April 9th. You can also see here a little bit. I've also posted in the description below. And on Steam, I had to log out because I wanted to show you I already bought the game. Actually, I bought it twice because I bought it also for a friend who plays City Builders. And the game cost, like I said, 20 euros. And you can also see it's like very positive feedback so far. So the release date was on the 24th of September. That was the early access. And now we are going to have the full release. So I definitely can only recommend this game. It was really fun to play. And I think most of the little bugs and problems that needed some polish, that's all already fixed. And I'm pretty sure that it's a great game at this point. I have to come back to it and play it after the full release. So that's definitely something that I'm going to do. But I just wanted to share with you. Let me go back and check what you are writing. And John is saying, I keep hearing that the new algorithm does not count engagements, only likes. Yeah, and so basically likes and comments, and then you have this kind of new features under the videos like hype. I think you can like hype a video and some stuff like that. So it's really like counting these things, and then naturally it looks also at how many people from the impressions like actually clicking on the video, so the click-through rate. The problem is that if your video is, let's say, about gaming and you or YouTube offers the game to people who are watching, I don't know, DIY videos, they are not going to be interested in watching a game about watching a video about the game or some gameplay or game review or something like that. And when you go into YouTube Studio, you can see as a creator where your videos are being like offered. So when you have this impressions tab, you can see where the video is being posted. And I've seen for some of the videos that have not performed so well, I was wondering why is the algorithm not pushing out the video. It's, let's say, the same topic as it was, I don't know, a week ago. It was relatively successful before. Now it's not. Why? And then I look at the impressions tab and look at where the video is being offered, and I can see that it's being offered as the ending, end page on a video about boats. So what does that have to do with gaming, or with, I don't know, like I said, with some DIY videos? So when you click on a video and you watch a video, at the end you get some suggestions. If the suggestions are completely off and they are from a completely different topic that you are just not interested in, of course you're not going to click on it. And that actually destroys your click-through rate. If my video is being offered to people who are in general not interested in gaming, of course it's getting, I don't know, 3,000 impressions and only 2 clicks. So the YouTube algorithm will say, okay, the click-through rate is really bad. I'm not going to offer this video anymore because people are not interested in it. It must be a bad video. No, it's just being offered to the wrong audience, and that's the problem. And the more they are using this AI algorithm or these tools, the more I see this worsening over time. It's just absolutely destroying the analytics. So it's just really not great. Before that, it used to be at least like you offered gaming videos to people who are watching gaming. You offer DIY videos to people who are watching DIY videos. Now it's just crisscross across the board, and of course, naturally, the creators are then wondering why they are getting a lot of impressions, but nobody's no views and nobody's clicking on the vids. Yeah, because the impressions are served to the wrong people, to the wrong audience. So it's just kind of awful with the AI these days. So that's another observation that I've made. So just FYI, because I'm looking from time to time at the analytics, and especially these days, I will be honest with you, because as I said in the middle of the year, if you remember, I was complaining that after the change in the algorithm, that was about the start of August, the watch hours. I've lost so many watch hours that I was at 1,800 watch hours, and I was trying, of course, to get to the 4,000, and I fell from 3,800 to 1,800 in the span of like 7 months, 6 or 7 months, and I was completely unhappy about it, and that was because of the algorithm change. And with whatever miracle in the background with this AI, some of the videos were actually so served to my surprise, to so many people that I'm now back at 3,800 hours. So naturally, these days I'm looking more often at the analytics because I'm keeping an eye on the remaining 200 hours that are still missing, and just checking whether the impressions are working the way as they should. And to my negative surprise, I can see that they are not. And some of the videos are just being offered to a completely different audience than the other ones. The same topic, a video about the same topic, or the same game, for example, at around the same time as other videos, and impressions are completely different than before. So yeah, it's kind of weird. So just FYI. Yeah. Let me go back to the chat. Talk a lot. Yeah, Gaming Birch is saying, yeah, it's a real improvement indeed. Yeah, the AI. And Gaming Birch is also saying, I played Pompeii last fall. Nice and relaxing game. I need to check the current state. Like I said, it will be like fully released on the 9th. So wait for the full release maybe, and that's when you should get already the game completely polished and with all the features. So I would maybe wait for the 9th already. I definitely want to do another review. And compare it with what I have seen during the demo and see how it plays now, and just just make a video, let's say review or a comparison, definitely. And Snake is saying, I love our conversation too, especially when I make any rate R jokes on your live stream, and I know you're looking at it and I know you're thinking I'm not going to read that out loud. I'm oftentimes like reading it. Come on, it's sometimes I'm careful, but yeah, as you've noticed, I did read it. And Gaming Birch is like message retracted. And now I'm wondering, have you deleted the comment, or has this been deleted by YouTube? Okay, and next one. A fun example about the impressions. I just checked one of my videos on Exodus. In the content suggesting this video, the top entry is, what really happened to Meg Ryan? So you see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, there is a video with completely unrelated topic about a celebrity, or like I said, boats or DIY. And at the end of the vid, your gaming vid is being suggested, and naturally not many people are going to click on that. So yeah, the impressions are just, yeah. And John is saying the world wonders, huh? And Gaming Birch is saying, yay, for 3,800 hours, let's go. 4,000 is so close. I know, it was so close already a year ago, and then but honestly, last year I think I did lose a lot of hours because I did release the modding guides for Mass Effect Andromeda, and there were a lot of people watching those, so there were thousands and thousands of views, and basically it's like an evergreen, because this is something that will be still valid unless they change something, of course, on the Frosty engine or the Frosty mods or on the game, which I don't think they will. So it is still valid, and it's still working, the guide. And that's why so many people have watched it. So it's something that people come back to, but the biggest spike was naturally, of course, during the year before. So after a year, I have lost those views because YouTube is just looking at the last 365 days. And then also in... I think it was around August, September, October, I did lose a lot of the watch hours from the Dragon Age Failguard videos, which I've made the year before. So naturally, there was a big loss on the hours. But on the other hand, I did gain a lot of the watch hours from the newer weights. Now it's kind of a more... it's still a little bit volatile, so you can see videos which have relatively few views, and then suddenly you have videos with thousands of views. But at least, like, even those that get few views are not dropping so much like the previous ones did. So it's not just 10 views or something. It's in the hundreds, so that's still like okay for me, you know. So there's still like spikes and valleys, and it's from video to video it's different, but at least it's kind of like normalized now. At least I know that I get a certain amount of hours from certain weights. And in general, to be honest, sometimes I know I'm posting a video that will not yield so many hours, and I just want to post a bit because it's an interesting topic for me, or it's something I think that the people would maybe like to see as an update on some older topics, etc. So it's not just about like getting the watch hours, you know, it's just about posting something that I think could be interesting. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, but that's normal, I guess, for every creator. Yeah. And Gaming Birch is saying, I retracted this message myself. It was out of place. Okay, thank you in that case. Because you never know what the YouTube algo will do with the whole stream then. And Snake is saying, what's this Mass Effect Andromeda you speak of? I never heard of it and I don't think it ever existed. Okay, yeah, I know there are a lot of people who don't like the game, and I will still say I did like the game, and of course not as much as the original series, and I do understand it had its problems, but for me it was relatively an interesting story. It could have been done better, so I think the story was something that I appreciated and I liked. It was something different and something new, and I didn't mind. And I just think it could have been executed a little bit differently, so the execution wasn't so great. But in general, I had fun with the game. I don't know how the others see it, but I had fun, and that was also reflected in my review. I didn't really give it a very negative review because, yes, there have been some bad things or not really so great things, but in general, it's a fun game. It's not so bad. At least if you mod it. I don't know how about the unmodded state, but when you mod it, it's fine. Yeah, Johnny saying it's better modded. Sisa's guides are great. Thank you. That's why I made the guide. Basically, see, normally I'm not posting guides on my channel unless it is something that has annoyed me on a game myself. That's the same, for example, with this point and click game that I've posted, Still Life. And there was a puzzle that was utterly bad to master. So I know that many players were complaining about it, and it was just awful to go through. And I did find some like walkthroughs, but they were just in written form and not really a good video. So I decided to make a video for it. So something again that was let's say maybe out of place on the channel. I wouldn't necessarily say it, but it wasn't for an RPG. I'm normally not doing like walkthrough guides or something like that. I did extra something for the Horizon Zero Dawn, for example, but it's general. In general, it's something that I think I would have appreciated when I was playing the game for the first time, and I think it could be helpful for the players, and that's why I'm making the video. But it's not like my channel is now turning into walkthrough guides or something, right? But yeah, I in general, I do this for the games that I like and where I think that it could be useful for the others, for the other players. And Snake is saying, I know you like Mass Effect Andromeda, you also like What? Geraris as your boyfriend in Mass Effect? What? Okay, I'm not sure if that's a typo. Geraris. No, okay, not getting this one. We'll be honest. And basically, that's it. I don't think I have any other topic prepared anymore. So I just let me check my notes. Let me also switch the screen. As you can see, my endless notes. Let me just see if I have not missed something, but I don't think that there is anything else. No. Yeah. I don't have any fun part this time. I think there was some good stuff and bad stuff in the stream tonight, but I didn't really find anything that I would like to highlight, like no comedians, no funny channels or something. I think the most fun I have seen this week, and what I already highlighted, is the posts regarding Crimson Desert, like this with the fan. That one was great to watch. So definitely when I'm going to play the game, I will just record some stuff from the game, and I will definitely post as well some funny stuff that I find. But check it out. Check out the people, what they are posting, if you are, for example, on Twitter, because it's a lot of fun, these little snippets, and I'm really looking forward to it. I just want to finish playing the Forbidden West before I do that, because I really want to do the review. And I did promise on the channel to have again a little bit more of the reviews, for which I do need some time. So yeah, that's what I'm currently working on. And going forward, again, I cannot promise that the videos will come more often as they do now. Unfortunately, like I said, there's quite a little bit of work, both in the garden and home, and not so much time. And also I have to dedicate the time to a review, which is relatively time consuming and extensive. So I will probably need some more time until I post again some of the vids. I do like to react to what's going on, so if there is something with Exodus or the Expanse, I will probably do again some quick update vid, don't worry. But yeah, just FYI, I'm not going anywhere, I'm here, I'm still posting, it just might take a little bit more time. And regarding the live streams, I'm not sure how much I will have time during the next few weeks, but I know that I probably have time earlier than in a month, so maybe, but that's not a promise, I would do another live stream maybe in 3 weeks already instead of 4. I will have to look at the calendar, so just FYI, I will try to do it a bit earlier than this time, yeah. And that's about it, basically. Garrus, yes, okay. Garrus, yes, that's true. What's wrong with Garrus? I have Garrus as my boyfriend in Mass Effect, and that's from Gaming Birch. Okay. I mean, he's funny, okay? He's a fun guy. I really like the humor. That's like this kind of dry humor that he has. And speak to text. Yeah, okay. So that was the the speak to text. I'm having trouble with that too. Sometimes I'm writing my scripts for some of the vids the way that I'm just quickly speaking into the microphone and just have it rewritten in the text, and you wouldn't believe what kind of nonsense sometimes I have to correct. So okay, I get it now. Okay. And John is saying, no, that Sisa has never done a walkthrough of the Inquisition hinterlands, and I never will, to be honest. No, come on, no. I've played the game once, and that was it, to be honest. It wasn't a bad game. Inquisition wasn't a bad game. No, okay, it was fine. But it's not a game that I would like to repeat, to be honest. I did already see there the deviation from the previous games, which I wasn't so fond of. So there is definitely not a walkthrough of the Inquisition hinterlands coming. Garrus is the number one, bro. That's it. Yeah, that's that's also something that I like on the Mass Effect games, and actually what I'm missing in some of the newer games, coming back to the Horizon game. You don't necessarily have to make the characters gay or fall in love immediately if they just talk nicely to someone. You can just have friends in games. And I think that one is something that they mastered very well in Mass Effect, when you didn't want to be like romantically involved with some characters, you still had this kind of friendship arc which you could continue with the character, and it was really well done. And that was, I think, with Garrus, that was one of the things that people were praising, like he was just like a good bro for the players. So yeah, that's something that I'm missing in the newer games, to be honest. Aloy didn't have to be gay just because somebody does talk to her very nicely. It could have just been friends, and yeah, you wouldn't necessarily have to make her gay just because you want to tick another box. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm probably reacting like this to Forbidden West because I'm already very tired and fed up with the let's say main character being a girl boss, arrogant or annoying, or arrogant and annoying girl boss, and arrogant and annoying and gay girl boss. And that's a lot in the media recently, or in the recent years. There's way too many characters like that, and it's just tiring. And I just really was hoping not to see this crap, and yeah, I'm not so fond of that, so to be honest. So yeah, I love both my Dextro besties equally. That's from Gaming Birch. Tali and Garrus, yeah, we will not be on the same page with Tali, to be honest, but I get it why she's so interesting for guys especially. Yeah, Snake is saying Tali is my wife. Tali's wife, Garrus' best bro, Grant is your chaotic teenage son. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that got me the scene with Grant in the Citadel DLC when Shepard is being called by the police there. Like, Grant did destroy something again. And then I like the discussion at the end, like I think that they went to a noodle shop, like at least like were the noodles good? That was like the end of the discussion after you had to sign off for everything that he destroyed. Yeah, that was fun. Like I said, the Citadel DLC is something that I really loved on Mass Effect 3. That's a good DLC. Yeah. Okay, guys, looking at the time and noticing that in the background, the little pets that I have already like moving around, it's about time. The doggos are already also waiting. I can hear it. So I will be ending the stream here. I'm really happy that you joined in and that you had the time to be here. I apologize again for those who have joined previously and have seen that there is a start of the video, I think like the first 17 minutes, where you see me talking, opening my mouth, and there is no sound because there was a problem with the microphone. So again, on this spot, thanks a lot to Olivia for pointing this out. It really was very helpful. And I hope you can skip that first part. And yeah, thanks a lot for being here. Definitely I will advertise again when I have the next live stream, and then I hope that you are enjoying the videos in the meantime. And okay, I think it's time to end it here. I mean, the Snakey and Gaming Bird are already declaring their love for each other in the chat. Shall I make a separate room for you? Okay, guys, thank you very much for being here. Have a great weekend, have a great night, and I'm hoping to see you again on the next stream. Thank you very much. Have a nice night. Bye.